really similar riff and kind of along the lines, I'd say like Metallica's For Whom the Bell Tolls. Got that mid-groove style, just classic heavy metal. Sort of like maybe Symphony of Destruction and Megadeth, maybe a couple of Maiden songs and Priest songs as well. But we're going to get right into this. But before we do that, if you're a member of the Jason Stallworth Guitar Academy, first of all, thank you. You have the tabs and the backing tracks, so make sure you download those. If you're not a member of my new academy, I do have a link in the description of this video to check that out. Alright, so let me play this out in the open and then we'll break this down. Again, I'm in standard tuning. You probably already knew that. And yeah, I switched guitars. I like to switch back and forth between the Ibanez and the old Telly here. I don't know, this guitar has kind of grown on me. When I first got it, I was like, this is not something I would play. It's not metal. But anyway, that's a story for another day. Actually, I have a video on that from way back. In any case, though, we're in the key of E minor. We've got an E power chord. We're also playing a C and a D power chord throughout this riff. So these chords here. I like to try to simplify things first, especially if you're kind of new to playing metal. Of course, if you're a seasoned guitarist, that part's easy. But I still like to kind of, I don't know, just break things down into little bite-sized chunks. That's kind of the overall format of what we're doing here. So when you think of it that way, it's like, okay, kind of the foundation. We can easily build upon that. Hopefully that makes sense. But we've got a lot of palm muting in this naturally, right? And then we also have some single note riffs that we're palm muting, and then we have a little gallop, that 1 2 3, that quick 1 2 3 towards the end. Okay, all in between those power chords. So we start out with this right here. Pretty simple because everything is right in this little section here, right? And I'm a big fan of, you know, going out and about and exploring the fretboard. You know that, but this kind of proves to us that it doesn't always have to be ultra complex, right? For it to sound just really good, really meaty and chunky and good, right? And this is a cool riff in my opinion anyway. So there's a story behind this riff too. Stay tuned till the end. We'll talk about that in our guitar chat. A really exciting story behind this. In any case though, as you hear, we're going back and forth. I'll fill the tabs up soon too. We're going back and forth between strings. That's what makes this type of riff interesting. And that's probably, if I were to give it like a core technique, you know, that would be it, or maybe that's a tactic. We're going back and forth between the strings, you know, we're palm muting back and forth. So again, and that takes some getting used to if you're not used to playing that style. A lot of times we're playing stuff like, or we're playing single note riffs. Well, here we're kind of combining two, and I just made that up. That's not part of the lesson. Hopefully that didn't throw you off. We're about to throw up the tabs for this part, by the way, but I just wanted to bring that point up. Sometimes we might be used to playing one or the other. Well, in this case, we're combining both, right? And we're also kind of going back and forth. So let's throw the tabs up. I'm going to play through this first part slow. One other thing I wanted to point out real quick is I think it's kind of cool and unique that we start not on the heaviest note, right? The lowest note. We start on that second fret of the A string, right? So another thing to think about when you're writing your own riffs, where to start. Sometimes we're tempted to always start with the low note, right? You don't always have to do that though. Start somewhere else and then go up if you want to. All right, so after that, we sort of like almost repeat that in a sense, right? But we go to the C, we kind of cut it short and go to the C power chord. So it's like this. throw the tabs up for that in a second as well. But let's talk through this briefly. So I like to use that strategy, right, to where we repeat it, but we sort of cut it short and do something different right after that. So another riff writing tip here. I like to throw it in like this because I really encourage you to write your own riffs. It's great to learn this stuff. I thank you for learning my riffs. I appreciate that. Thank you for being a part of my Guitar Academy if you're part of that. Link in the description if you're not. Join today. It'll be cool. Any case, I like to give these tips though because I really want you to venture out, okay? Add stuff to this as you learn it. Add your own flavor to it. You will come up with something way cooler than this. This is what I wrote, okay? I wrote it for a specific purpose. We'll talk about that in a second. But as you venture out and add your own flavor to it, it will be better. What makes it better? Well, it's yours. That's what makes it better. It's like, hey, I came up with this. I used this riff that Jason showed me, but then, man, I just took off with it, and now it just sounds completely different, right? I used some of the tactics and strategies and that sort of thing. So that's what I encourage. Back to the riff. Let me throw up the tabs for this part. After we do that, we pretty much repeat everything up to that last point, but we make one more change at the very end. Let me play the riff all the way through, and then we'll go over that very last part, okay? As you heard, we basically just repeated the same thing over. Yet another strategy for riff writing. Play something, double it up, but then make a change to it. We did that in the very first half of the riff, right? We sort of repeated that pattern, but we changed it. We went to a power chord instead of finishing out, right, with the single note riffs that we did the first time around. Take that whole section that I just talked about, we repeat that entire thing, right? Almost, but we make another change at the very end of that. So that change is this part here. I'll play the second half, okay? We add some gallops. You guys know how much I love gallops. It's that technique where it's like a 1, 2, 3. I call that a quick pick because it's like a 1, 2, 3 quick pick. Now that sounds like we're playing the lottery. I really don't play lottery. I do throw a $10 bill in the casino sometimes with my father-in-law, but hey, you know, I don't have much to lose, so we make sure we don't lose much. In any case, it's a quick pick. 1, 2, 3, right? Okay, it's a 1, 2, 3. That's the gallop. So downstroke, upstroke, downstroke. And that's all we're doing. We're just doing that twice before we go to that D power chord. So that's the difference. That was the first time. The final time. So let's throw the tabs up for that final piece there. That riff was pretty fun. Now there's a little backstory behind that riff there, and I'll share that. But real quick, if you don't have my free metal guitar practice guide called Metal Riffs and Licks, this guide has literally helped thousands of other metal guitar players, and thank you for everyone who's downloaded a copy of that and gone through the videos. But grab your copy if you don't have it yet. I give this away to all my YouTube subscribers. It's my way of saying thank you for being a part of my world and my channel. So there's a link in the description of this video to download Metal Riffs and Licks. Now if you have that practice guide, then hey, consider getting into my new Guitar Academy, the Jason Stallworth Guitar Academy. You get access to all of my courses out there, my future courses included, which I have a new course coming out very, very soon here in the month of January 2025. It's on melodic soloing, so that's coming out. And you also get access to all of the materials, the tabs and the backing tracks for my monthly lessons. And I have all the lessons all the way 2024, that entire year, and of course beyond that. So it's an ongoing and ever-growing platform just for guitar players like yourself. So hey, check that out. There's a link in the description for that as well. I always say, if you don't have my free stuff, get my free guide first, watch some of my YouTube videos, and if that helps you, if that resonates with you, if my material resonates with you and you like what I do, hey, you'll definitely love the Guitar Academy I have for you. So check those out. Now, speaking of this riff, it's actually part of my new lead guitar course. It's one of the rhythms that I wrote for one of the lead tracks that I'm going to be presenting in the new lead course. So yeah, that's coming up real soon. I'm excited about it. And I know I've been talking about this course for a while, but I have taken a lot of your feedback over the past several months that I've been talking about it. I've taken your comments and your feedback, and I've really been able to just put something that's, I don't know, man, I'm really excited about it. So I can't wait for you guys to go through this course. Now it's been a fun process filming this. It's been a bit painful in a good way. I know that doesn't make sense. It's like it's painful, but it's good. I say that because there have been parts where I recorded, right? I recorded this module, an entire module, and I went back and I just didn't like how it turned out. And I'm like, I could have did this better, I could have did that better, so I re-recorded the whole thing. I've done this with several lessons in the course, so that's why it's taken me a little bit longer to put this together. I really want this to be awesome. I want this to be like, when you go through this course, you're like, whoa, okay, this has taken my lead guitar playing to a completely different level. Not only are you going to be playing faster and all that stuff, I mean, yes, speed is in there, sure, but my goal is to help you shape and develop your own signature style. I harp on that. You guys know I always say that. Even with this lesson here, I want you to take this rhythm that we just learned. I want you to add to it, take away from it, play it in different keys, add your own thing, add your own flavor, because it becomes extremely special because now it's yours. Okay, I gave you the idea here, great. We're all like borrowing riffs from other bands, from Maiden, Metallica, Slayer, and Amon Amarth, Arch Enemy. I've been listening to a lot of Arch Enemy lately. That's one of my favorite bands. I love that band. I love Michael's playing, and his style of writing is just cool. Take my stuff, whether it's my free videos, my free lessons, right, or whether you get into my Guitar Academy, you become a member. All that stuff, I want you to take it and make it your own. That's the best thing that I believe that you can do as a musician. So guys, until next time, as always, keep it metal and keep playing music.